Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Wherever you are in the world, welcome and thank you so much for being here. As you may or may not know, I am Kim Serafini, the creator, the founder, and the CEO of Positive Prime. Woohoo! I'm so excited to be here this morning. It is very beautiful down under. I'm actually in the state of Queensland on the east coast, up in the north, in a really exquisite area called the Sunshine Coast. My little town is called Noosa, N-O-O-S-A. You could Google Noosa and indeed have a look at where it is in the world and go to Google Images and see just how spectacularly magnificent it is as a natural, pristine environment. So I feel very blessed, indeed, quite fortunate to live here. And this, of course, is our headquarters or, command central. And it is also the home where we live and the retreat center where we perform and lead magnificent workshops and coaching sessions and retreats that are all about your holistic approach to health and well-being so that you really feel vibrant and very at peace. We actually call it Serafini Mind Spa. If you want to, you can go and have a look at serafinimindspa.com at a later date. So thank you for being here. We're about to dive into a really fantastic, fast-paced and absolutely fabulous session on the art, the power, the science of positive priming and how it is that it ensures you have a brighter future, but you also have a much brighter disposition here and now. And indeed, you can actually improve and enhance your health, both your brain health and your physical body health as well. So we've got a lot to cover in the next, say, 60 minutes. There's going to be time for some questions, and I hope I'm actually going to be able to have some other people come on out and share with us their experience thus far if they are already a Positive Prime professional, which means, of course, they've gone through our certification program, or a Positive Prime VIP or signature member, which means that they may have indeed had a consultation or a coaching session with me, really like a guidance session with me, one-on-one via Zoom, and they're using Positive Prime. I'm also going to tell a couple of really quick stories about what's in store for you if you actually commit and you're dedicated and loyal to the practice of positively priming yourself every single day. So without further ado, for those of you who can see me, let me know. We're on Zoom, so I'm darting my eyes all around my big screen. I'm going to do some screen sharing as well, and we're recording this. Please feel free to share this with anybody else you might think could be interested. But where do I begin? And where do we end? And will we ever? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I'm a best-selling author. I actually went to business school. I was very successful as a change management consultant in the world of mergers and acquisitions. So really very entrenched in the corporate life that I had some 20, 25 years ago. And I was blessed, right place, right time, right mentors, worked for the right firm in London, got to travel all throughout Europe and the United States of America, got to live and work in lots of different environments, and actually was incredibly challenged by some amazing, amazing projects. A lot of what I learned there was actually how and why people will do what we want them to do or will not do what they know they should do when they are under stress. So during times of change where there's ambiguity or there's uncertainty, wherever we're stepping into the unknown. And why is it that we resist? And why does what we resist persist? And how is it that we can actually just surrender and let go and allow ourselves to flow into a really beautiful, enduring transformation that is in our best interest and everybody else around us? And so that was really the ground where a lot of the foundations were laid. And then, of course, those of you who don't know, I went back to study in the United Kingdom and I actually qualified as a sports therapist. And in Australia, we actually kind of refer to that body of work as osteopathy or osteopaths or exercise physiologists. And I absolutely loved what I did, but it sent me on a trajectory through the spa industry. And I created what is now known as hot stone massage. globally, internationally. Some 20 years ago, it was just an idea in my head of using handcrafted marble sculptures that you heated and chilled that act like an ultrasound in the manipulation of soft tissues. And I'd actually specialized in cardiac rehab and sporting injuries. And I was fascinated by this field, and I'm an avid and very curious learner. So I would dive deep, but my business in the spa industry was incredibly successful and really, really fulfilling and rewarding. And I got to travel to the Himalayas in India and train amazing Ayurvedic therapists and doctors. I got to travel and set up distributorships throughout India, the Middle East, Asia, and I could go on and on and on. But I learned a lot, and one of the things was that anything that's going on with us physically usually has something to do with what's going on with us mentally and emotionally. And actually, you can have a really perfect fitness regime, really wonderful, wholesome diet. Your nutrition can be fantastic. And quite frankly, you might actually really do anger or grief or shame or being stressed out or anxiety or sadness or frustration or disappointment or fear. And that will actually do more harm to your body than you can possibly imagine. So about 15 years ago, I came across a study that actually said if you do 15 minutes of being angry every day, and actually I used to do that, it's the equivalent of you sitting down and chain smoking a packet of cigarettes, and the toxicity and the actual damage that you do to yourself. Oh my goodness. Well, what that actually caused me to do was completely change my entire life and focus on how do I help people to experience positive emotions. And positive emotions actually create a chemical cocktail inside our bodies. And in particular, I focused on gratitude. And I wrote a book, several books actually, that became bestsellers, and I'm really proud of that. And they were on gratitude. One of them I've got here is actually called I Am Grateful for Life. And I self-published this. And it was so amazing because I put it into like 500 spas and salons that were clients of mine where I'd trained therapists. I trained over 5,000 therapists over 5 years. I'd actually gone and trained the lecturers at like the Four Seasons resorts, and they trained all their therapists, and I trained the lecturers at the Australasian College of Natural Therapies, and I could go on and on and on. But what I found was that when you feel a deep, intense, profound, very sincere and genuine appreciation, a real gratitude, marvelous things happen. In fact, your brain is what Barbara Fredrickson would call broadened and built. It's the broaden and build theory, and you can go off and Google that. Positive emotions literally change the way that we function optimally, the way that our minds work. And we make better, more accurate decisions faster when we are in these states. Now, this state, this best state, is actually called being positively primed. We've done some research. So the tool that we've created that we're going to share with you today has actually been scientifically proven. It's been researched. We know from an efficacy point of view, it works. There's a lot more research that we could do, and I'm going to ask for your help because every single one of you who become one of our subscribed premium members and you're paying your monthly dues, or indeed a VIP member, you are all contributing in a really profound way to us being profitable enough so that we can actually fund further research, because that is undoubtedly one of my greatest desires, dreams and hopes and wishes, and that's what I work hard for. I really want to do a lot more research into what are the possibilities and potentials for applications of our tool, and how can we actually really make an amazing difference in lots of people's lives who are suffering from anxiety and depression and cardiovascular disease and perhaps even some neurological issues or some autoimmune issues, and actually what is the effect on lots of different parameters in business. So I've said a lot in less than 10 minutes, and I hope you're keeping pace, but you'll be able to go back and watch this again, and maybe you're writing some notes. I certainly hope so. Writing notes definitely does help us to actually pay attention. It also helps us to retain what it is that we're learning, and much more importantly, recall it so that we can apply it. Everything that I do is about actually walking the talk and living, actually living what we claim we want and we need, and making sure that it's applied, and applied in a really persistent way but also with a great intention. So let me dive in and switch gears and tell you a quick little story about why would you even be interested in positive priming? Well, actually, there's 1,000 different really good reasons. One of them actually relates to the fact that 2 weeks ago, my beautiful other half, my love Cameron, actually had a quadruple coronary bypass operation. Basically 4 arteries completely replumbed so that he could survive. He'd actually had a heart event the week before. And about 48 hours ago, I got a text message from a lovely lady that I admire and respect and have come to love and really gotten to know. And her name is Dr. Selena Bartlett. And she has an amazing, really incredible story. She actually headed a lab at the University of California, San Francisco. She was instrumental in actually coming up with the drug that causes effectively smoking cessation, and then she's done a lot more research on how does that apply to alcoholism and sugar addiction and obesity and so forth. Anyway, Selena is now a professor at a really fancy university here in Australia, and she dropped in to see Cameron because she wanted him to actually really understand what happens when during an operation like that, you actually go onto heart bypass machine, what happens when the heart stops, but in particular, what happens to your brain from a neuroscience point of view. She's actually a professor of neuroscience. So she's written this book. I recommend that you all go and take a look at it. It's called Smashing Mindsets. And she has this other book called Trace It to Erase It. Fundamentally phenomenal. I cannot overstress this. She also has a podcast. I could actually screen share. I just get it on Spotify. Let me show it to you here, and then we'll stop the screen share after that. So her actual podcast is on relatable neuroscience. It's about how do we actually live it for those of us who have real issues, problems, opportunities, those of us with real lives, those of us with real intentions and so forth. So you can go and actually listen for free, a whole heap of episodes that she has recorded just for our benefit so that we can learn and we can actually gain control of these magnificent brains that we have. So guess what she said? She said, you know what, Cameron, make sure you set your day up right and watch Positive Prime. Watch a session. Because what we need to do is actually rebuild some of the pathways from a neuroplasticity point of view, because there was nerve interruption and damage in that particular operation. And we need for your prefrontal cortex to be back, to be rebuilt, to be repaired. So this is a part of the healing journey. And she said a lot of people who have open heart surgery actually do have diagnosed depression afterwards. And she said, I don't want you to actually have to go through that, and you can prevent it. You're absolutely in control of that, but it will require for you to have just as much devotion to your mental and brain training as you will to your steps in terms of building up the little bits of exercise you're doing every day in your recovery process. And interestingly enough, we talked about the very fact that there is great scientific evidence for the efficacy of rebuilding and neuroplasticity in actually tracing very perfectly. So you trace the lines very perfectly. What's amazing about this book is that on the other side, there are these great facts about the way that, quite frankly, our brains work. So why would Selena go to the effort of actually traveling to us here at our healing center, at our retreat headquarters, at Serafini Mind Spa, at our sacred and very, very beautiful home? Why would she go to that effort? I have to actually add to you, she had flown in that morning to Australia from Singapore, and she'd actually got a direct flight out of San Francisco just prior. So she literally came directly to us. Now, the fact is that she was actually speaking at an event down the road, and we're actually organizing an amazing retreat that we can do together, which is about helping people to become not just conscious, but much more than conscious. And a lot of it has to do with the work that we do at Serafini Mind Spa or in positive priming. So why? Well, what Selena knows Dr. Selena Bartlett and I know is that if you daily positive prime, what you're actually doing is you're putting your brain into a state. And Dr. Barbara Fredrickson talks about that as the broaden and build state. Professor Kim Cameron talks about it having the heliotropic effect in your life. What does that mean? It means that your actual peripheral vision expands. It means that you are much more resourceful. Your brain fires in different ways. And we have a tool that actually does it to you, for you, so that you benefit and you can harness the results, right? And that, of course, we call positive prime. It's a positive prime session. Okay, so what is that? Well, how about we just go and play it, and I'll explain to you exactly how and why this works. There is an art to this. There is also a science. It is truly magical, magnificent, and quite frankly, we've seen miracles. We have tens of thousands of members. Globally, internationally, anybody on the planet can become a member for free. The incredible secret sauce in what we do is actually available as a subscribed member. It gives you this edit function down here on the right. So no matter who you are in the world, you can join for free. Let's hope somebody has referred you, and if so, they've given you a referral code. When you actually go to positiveprime.com for the very first time, that's positiveprime.com, and you click, I want to sign up, create an account for free right now, there's an actual join for, little form, and you must put your referral code in that form. Now, when you do that, usually what that means is you're going to be gifted with some content. How else do you get content? Well, just joining gives you what we call 120 credits. That's our currency. And you'll see it up here in the top right-hand corner, the number of credits you have. When you first arrive, you'll see in this dashboard, can you see on the left there's a dashboard? You'll see that you can watch a session. So what's a session? A session is a very, very special, very carefully curated, specifically and precisely selected group of images and words. Not just any images and not just any words. And the way that our player works, you're about to see, it's a proprietary formula. It's not just a movie file like an MP4. It's not an audio file like a MP3. It's really quite unique, and it does something remarkable, truly, truly, truly fantastic. It's so sophisticated, and yet it appears so simple. So let's just say you've been a member for a little while and you're watching sessions. That means you're going to be earning credits. So we have a couple of parameters. For every single session you watch, we recommend and suggest, and the science also indicates, that you should watch a minimum of 3 minutes in order to have an effect that lasts 6 to 8 hours. It's like brushing your teeth twice a day. Quite frankly, you have to do twice a day. You can't brush your teeth and imagine it's going to last forever, right? This is, quite frankly, so much more incredible than going and having just a massage. And I should know, right? Because I've delivered thousands, hundreds of thousands of massages over 20 years. But the truth is that, someone might come to me and actually have a really exquisite, heated and chilled, marble sculptures used rock massage called lithotherapy, and they might pay me several $100s. But the effects of a massage, they wear off pretty quickly. This actually has a cumulative compound impact on your life for the better. You will indeed make yourself brighter, and I mean intellectually brighter. You will indeed have a brighter disposition and attitude towards life every day, here and now, in the present moment, and you will have a brighter future. I can almost promise you that, and we've got thousands of members who actually have given us amazing feedback, incredible testimonials, and we are so, so, so proud of the work that we do. So you've come in here, you've earned some credits, but before you've earned some credits, you'll have here a drop-down menu. This is actually your library, and this is where you select your session. It's actually the topic or the subject. What is unique, what differentiates us, is that our subjects, our sessions, they're almost like accelerated learning at-home study programs that are summaries, and they're incredibly intense, and they are created with world-class authorities, real amazing experts, New York Times best-selling authors, people who have amazing reputations. They've won awards, they've got accolades, they're tried and tested, they're proven We respect and admire them. They're professionals. They actually are tested. So we have content that we co-create with people, and we have an entire division that actually goes about creating content. So I'll give you an example. This is Dr. Diane Shelton. She's a doctor of psychology. She has an incredible story. She created Transcending Trauma. Now, through the process of my husband having a heart attack, being in hospital, facing a quadruple bypass operation to basically repair his arteries and the situation there, of course, post-recovery, me going through seeing him in intensive care, now being his care at home for a week, I needed to watch Transcending Trauma. In runtime, I can actually put my cursor, and it's a default 15 minutes, but let's just say I only have 5 minutes and I want to earn my credit, so I have to do more than 3 minutes. Now, our system actually stops you from earning credits after you've watched a certain number of sessions per day, because we don't want people to be overdosing on this. Not that we think that they could or would or should. It's just not practical to do something all day, every day, even if it was meditating or swimming laps or running or eating lettuce or whatever else. Sleeping, even though sleeping is incredibly important to us. Quite frankly, more than 7 to 9 hours and you're sleeping too much. It's like water and hydration, more than a couple of liters a day. And quite frankly, you can drown yourself. So let's watch this and I'll explain a little bit what's happening. It's loading. Now, because we're on Zoom and the internet is being maxed out at the moment, this is going to take a little bit longer than I want it to, and it's going to be frustrating me. But anyway, we'll stay calm. We'll breathe nice and deeply. And what we're going to do is imagine, and I literally do this in energy healing, I'm going to imagine that millions, trillions of little firefly, like angels or fairies, are flowing into my body. I'm breathing them in. They're going into every part of me. I'm actually absorbing them, and they're going through and they're actually repairing every part of my body. Every part of my body. This is taking way longer than I hoped or thought it would. So let me just skip this for a second. Let's try nutritional nurturing. That's obviously one of the recent ones that I watched. And let's see what's happening here. I will tell you, our software engineers are working on a couple of new features, and so I never know whether they're in the actual back end of the system. So this is trusting that I'm going to be able to show you something live and online. So it's loading. You can see the blue bar going across. That's a good idea. Did you notice that I thought that there was an issue? So I just went and clicked dashboard, and basically it kind of resets the program. Every now and again, because I know that new code's being developed, and I'm not techie, I actually do a hard refresh of an actual tab on the internet inside the browser. And that, of course, reloads it and it refreshes the cache. So here we go, and we're about to pop up with a survey. This is really important. So how are you feeling now? Well, actually, I'm pretty happy. I was a little bit anxious because I didn't know if this was actually going to work. So I could have put anxious there and it would have been fair. Let's continue to the session. So I'll click continue to the session and it'll start playing. And I'm going to explain to you what we're going to be seeing and exactly how it works for your brain. All right, so there is music to every single session, and sometimes the music tracks are similar, but you can always mute them. And you can do that by actually going down here into the bottom right-hand corner. You can press on the speaker. So I dare say you can actually hear that music at the moment. So what's happening, and I'm just going to mute that so you can hear me very clearly, is that flowing and transitioning like flashcards in front of our eyes are a series of images and words. They're very, very, very carefully curated, as I said, for a particular reason. And we have a precise formula. So when you see a smile, it's a particular type of smile. It's genuine, it's sincere, it's natural, it's organic. And guess what? Your mirror neurons, they're a part of your brain that is processed through the retina in your eyes. They actually, I absolutely need you to understand this. When you see a certain number of Duchenne smiles, that's the scientific label for them, your brain thinks that you are smiling. And it literally starts to send messages to your endocrine system, and hormonally you start to produce a new chemical cocktail that contains neurotransmitters and endorphins like serotonin and dopamine and oxytocin and guess what? You're actually this is a delicious cocktail for your body. It's healthy. It's great for you. You can go off and Google what are the benefits of more serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, and why is it important to your health and to your life and to those around you. But what I want you to know, in every single session, we have a certain number of Duchenne smiles. And that's just one of the categories and one of the ratios that we have in the types of images that we show you. We also have images that show green tree canopy, for example. Green, and looking at an image where 70% of it is green, has been scientifically proven to actually interact with the production of your cytokines and the protein involved in your immune functioning. So we're really giving you a boost. That's just 2 of about 10 aspects. There are a certain number of images that we give you that we know from the way that emotional contagion works, it's actually starting to do certain other things. So when you lift your chin and your eyes go up and you actually open up, you're actually going to also produce some different kinds of hormones. One of them could be testosterone, which will be really good in terms of you feeling powerful and confident. We know for a fact that when you see images of nature, you actually do start to ground yourself. It happens autonomically. So your autonomic nervous system, your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system is starting to balance out. And it's actually going to cause you to actually reach out to others and be more pro-social, more helpful, right? And we know there's incredible research around the way that we actually develop quality relationships and the value of that. Many of you may have read some of the recent studies about how incredibly dangerous and destructive isolation is and why socializing is so important. So I'll tell you what's really fascinating about some of these sessions. They're going to actually interact with your other than consciousness. And when it goes very quickly, you're not rejecting what it is that you're seeing. And we take in 11 million bits of information per second, and we actually attune to about 40 bits of information, depending upon what we've decided is important for us. So before you start this process, really think about, what are my goals? What are my hopes? What are my dreams? What is it that I'm trying to achieve? And here are a couple of other things that I would suggest that you do. You learn to do something in particular that's going to totally change your vibration. And I teach all of my clients this. And I will tell you, if you're a VIP member with us, which means you're either a signature member and you're paying $19.99 a month, or you pay annually $159, which is a special at the moment. It's usually around about $500 a year. You actually have access to have a coaching session with me, or a consultation. It's like a mentoring or guidance session where I'll do a really interesting process with you. I've done this, countless times. I've got amazing, amazing stories. But interestingly enough, one of the things that I like to teach my long-term clients is this. We often have a lot of difficulty letting ourselves go and feeling free and playful and allowing our vibration to actually increase such that we draw to us that which is going to give us a particular result. And when we experience it here and the now, from a law of attraction and quantum physics point of view, we actually draw it to us, okay? So this is what I want you all to do. And this was actually really hard for me to learn. That I should actually lower the volume. You might need this. You might need to do this if it's too loud for you, but this is how it needs to be done. When I first started, I actually had to do it inside a car with the doors closed, because I was kind of self-conscious and I thought it was a bit weird and I was kind of wacky. I now can do this with an unbridled enthusiasm. I'll explain to you how it works as well. So, nice big deep breath in, hold it, and actually breathe out much more slowly. Exhale more slowly than you actually breathed in. Remind yourself that you are truly a miracle. You really are. You're absolutely a miracle. And you are so worthy and deserving. And then let out a woohoo. Are you ready? And the woohoo has to be so incredibly honest that it will draw to you the circumstances, situation, the people, the actual ideas, anything else that's going to match that vibration. That will become your reality, and your life will actually be much more of a woo, technology, you might need to do that. But seriously, if you can do woo-hoo, you're actually doing something remarkable. And you're sending a message out there to the universe that says, please allow me to attract, please allow me to actually be aware of, acknowledge and appreciate all of the opportunities in everyday life. Me realize just how lucky we are to actually be able to experience life. And it is going to bring to you anything that's going to help you really feel the woohoo! Like, yeah, like, wow, 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 how amazing is life? How amazing are the opportunities? How amazing is it that I hit that sales target? How amazing it is that these people are really totally awe-inspiring and I get to work with them. All right? So that is one of the keys that I really give to everybody. So can you see that I actually just earned 5 credits for watching that? All right, so let's go back here. And, well, there we go. So I'm feeling better. I hope you are too. Okay, go away. Oh, let's skip this. No, why won't it? That's hilarious. Okay, so looks like this is a glitch and embarrassing, but it just is what it is. And you know what? Technology is a bit like this. I'm actually going to get out of here. All right, so I just closed it. There we go. All righty, so I'm going to go back to positiveprime.com. Now, when you are a member, you can go straight to app.positiveprime.com and go straight to your dashboard. This is the fast access. I actually have it, of course, in my most recent. I do this every single morning. I want to show you speeding up and slowing down. One of the things that we know is really important is that you have control. There is nothing subliminal about Positive Prime. Absolutely nothing subliminal, okay? You are in control of what it is that you see. What is going to make this exponentially more beneficial to you is you editing a session. So you must be a premium member. Let's just say I want to edit nutritional nurturing. I'm going to go here and I'm going to click edit session. And it's now going to start to load my personal images. I've actually been adding new images. I've been uploading them. So let's just say I want to select all the images. This is actually a vacation we had in Bali. And you know what? I wanted lots of beautiful photos of me and Cameron as I've been going through the last couple of weeks. So let's just say I like every single one of those photographs and I want to select them all. It looks like there's a little issue here in the way that I actually uploaded something. So I'm going to select them all now. And I'm going to go down and save. So once I've saved this, and you can see I have many, many, many pages of personal photographs. I have uploaded moments that are really significant to me. Savoring is an important part of positive psychology research. It has profound impacts. It's really important that we do this. And so I've actually made sure that I've uploaded photographs that remind me just, you know, quite frankly, how talented and gifted I am, how smart I am, how I'm using my gifts in the world. I actually need to be reminded of that because every now and again I'll come up an obstacle and I'll think, can I actually really do this? This is way beyond my comfort zone. And the fact is that I've got reminders that I have achieved in the past and I will achieve in the future. I also have lots of images about the goals that I have. It's almost like my very, very, very proactive vision board. Alrighty, so who wants to know something about another session? I'm going to go down here and should we do Positive Prime for Confidence or Wonderful Wellness? Should we go back to Transcending Trauma and just see? So let's see if it's now going to load. So any questions at this stage, any stories, anybody want to come out and share with me? Let me just go over here so that I can manage the participants here. And I'm going to tell you that if you create an account, right, and you are currently what we call a premium member and you're paying $9.99, you can actually cancel that membership and go in for $19.99 if you want. And this is not offered generally, but is offered right now for the month of September. So we're closing out August. I don't want to be unreasonable. I want to allow you to actually think about, do you want to become a VIP member or a signature member? That means you pay $19.99 a month, or you pay upfront for the year and you get a discount. You will receive a consultation with me, okay? Now, if you are a VIP member, it actually also means that if in the future of this year you would like to coach with me, and instead of paying $300 now, you actually want an opportunity just to maybe mastermind something in particular, maybe get a little bit of advice, or maybe see if you're on the right track, or maybe you want to know if you think that you're going to make it as a New York Times bestselling author, you can actually drop into coaching with me on an ad hoc basis for only $50 for half an hour. And that incredible offer is only available to you if you are a VIP member. And that's if you are currently a VIP member, or you become a VIP member before the end of September 2019, okay? Now, if you are interested in what we call our professional program, and you want to create a particular session for your own clients or your own members or your own students and so forth, then we actually do have an incredible opportunity, and it is available only if you are a VIP member, okay? So if you want to become one of our participants in our certification program, then you need to actually contact us, organize effectively an interview with me, find out a lot more information via Mayumi, and then you will save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars. Our general program is $5,000. We think it's very reasonable and fair for our certification and for actually creating one of these particular sessions for you that you can use in your marketing, and indeed in your teaching, and indeed in your therapy if you would like to do that. Now, professionals don't necessarily have their content in our shop available to the general public globally, but you can actually do that. We can come to an arrangement. We actually go through. So you'll see that there are photographs of me in here, and you'll see, maybe I'll identify one. I suggest that everybody actually watches a new session slowly to begin with. So down here in slower and faster, you control it. Go down to speed 1, allow for a couple of minutes for you to really engage, allow it to be emotionally evocative for you, really reflect on what you're seeing, just settle into it, right? And some people actually watch a brand new session on speed 1 or speed 2 all the way through, and you'll see down here it tells you how long it's going to take you, 51 minutes if you watch the entire program, this particular session on speed 1. Now, after you've watched it for a couple of minutes, then what you're going to want to do is actually speed it up a little bit. Not all of us have an hour every single day to positively prime ourselves, okay? So that's me and a lovely lady named Fawn I met through my beautiful friend Christine Carlson. Her Don't Sweat the Small Stuff session, by the way, is beautiful. Really, really beautiful. I use it when I want to feel more serene, when I need more tranquility in my own monkey mind, okay? So you want to speed it up. Now, let's just say you go at speed 4. That's me and Cameron. There you go. There's Cameron. That's my beautiful friend Michelle Gielan. That's my family. And so what's happening is I see these images is that it's actually causing my energy to go in and wrap around. And from a quantum physics point of view, there's entanglement between me and everything that I'm seeing here. So sometimes I will say a prayer and say, you know what? Please, God, guardians, angels, ascended masters, please, all of the entities and energies that are here, both past, previous, and in the future, allow yourselves to come here and allow me to feel you and allow me to actually experience all of this beauty in this lifetime. Allow me to know this. Allow me to share this. Allow me to contribute more. And I'll say a little prayer as I settle into watching a session. That's our pussycat asleep. Okay, so when you go even faster up at speed, say 9 or 10, this is actually bypassing the conscious critical judgment factors of your prefrontal cortex. And so anything that you need to learn, you need to actually allow to go in where you're actually dealing with something that's quite difficult for you. This is magical, absolutely magical. The other thing that is really, really spectacular about what it is that we offer here in this platform and this technology is that every single time you watch this session and you press play inside this browser, and we suggest Google Chrome, is it actually reshuffles the flashcards. So, for example, if you were triggered, let's just say you were bitten by a dog as a child and you're triggered by dogs, but you've been to Paris and you have these very fond memories of the Eiffel Tower, and you actually love bananas. You love the potassium and the nutrients of bananas. If you see a dog and before and after you see the Eiffel Tower and a banana, what actually happens inside your brain at speed is it starts to collapse and it creates a new average, a new sense or emotion around those three images. And the effects of these two images, where you have a very positive association and connection, will actually infuse the other energy of the other image that could potentially trigger you. And over time, you will actually become a lot more comfortable with that which used to make you uncomfortable. Now, just imagine the applications for that. So we know from a lot of what we read about the new research that's being done in neuroscience and positive psychology, that if I show you 16 flashcards and I show them to you quickly, if I then ask you some questions about them, your brain has actually mixed and merged those images, and you've actually got a theme now, not necessarily 16 individual pieces of information. So we can actually infuse ourselves with lots of goodness or greatness, lots of positivity, lots of very empowering and enhancing images that actually play with the way that we then start to process. You will see more opportunities. So another one of these incredible aspects about Dr. Selena Bartlett actually coming here the other day was that she was trying to say, this is brain training, this is neuroplasticity for real, this is causing you to create new neural connections, this is actually improving the way that your prefrontal cortex is going to be operating, and this could potentially, over time, with dedication and regularity, and at least 3 to 5 minutes, at least twice a day, we could actually maybe just lessen or indeed completely prevent some of the mental and emotional fallout as the complications and consequences of open heart surgery. Wow. Wow. All right. Wow. So if we have that potential and we haven't been through that kind of operation for ourselves, and we're whole and we're happy and we're having an amazing life, what does it do for us, right? What's the exponential effects? Wow, right? Woo-hoo! We have an amazing tool. It actually works. So one of my VIP clients actually phoned me yesterday and said, you know, I have been dedicated, Kim, I've been watching Jack Canfield's session on the success principles. It's really great. I haven't been watching that one. Previously, I've watched it every day on my way to work. So I get to work, I drive there, I'm, you know, a leader in a manufacturing environment. It's very stressful. It's very masculine. You know, it's very traditional. It's very conservative. And quite frankly, I have started to notice, I pull up in the car park, I watch 5 minutes and then I go into work. I'm on fire, I'm focused, I'm concentrating, I'm in action, I'm so much more productive, I'm efficient, I'm effective. I'm like, yeah, I know, I hear this all the time. But you know what, it takes you watching it diligently. It takes you developing your tenacity and your grit. So it takes you saying yes to yourself, that you are going to actually positively prime yourself at the beginning of every single day for a minimum of 3 to 5 minutes, right? See what happens in your life. See the way you actually interact with others. Be an observer of yourself. We can almost guarantee to you, you're going to be shocked and you are going to be in awe of yourself. There is this wonder that you should have about who you're becoming when you watch Positive Prime. I was talking to an amazing lady who's actually been introduced to me through one of our professionals. So her name is Audrey Weidman. She's a health coach, and she introduced me to this amazing woman named Heidi Hanna. And we had this conversation. You might want to Google her, or if you're in our professional program, you're going to get to know her. we're exploring ideas for how we actually do some further research in a corporate environment, and we're exploring creating the sessions that are bespoke, that are perfect for a particular group of employees in a particular corporate company, and the message is, you know, quite frankly, tailored to them. The images are perfect for them, their vision, their goals, the values of the company's products, what the company does in terms of service to the planet. And we're actually starting to fashion amazing ideas about actual research that we can do with a group of people. But we know we literally have tens of thousands of people who've got accounts, right, who have been exposed to sessions. And we know for a fact now, because we hear so much feedback, that you will feel better after watching a Positive Prime session, right? You owe it to yourself, don't you? You do. So back to becoming a signature member or VIP member anytime between now and September. Quite frankly, you're going to get a consultation with me. And then as a VIP or a signature member, you will have access to me throughout the year if you would like. We are going to be continuing to develop a program where you may also have access to some of our professionals, so we'll help to facilitate that as well. Let me just go over here and see if we've got any questions. Questions. So, anybody want to come on out and actually talk to me? Should I stop sharing for a moment and either offer a story where you've actually been using Positive Prime, where you've been sharing Positive Prime with others? Anybody got an amazing story to tell me? You can unmute yourselves if you like. Lots of people have their videos off. I dare say they're out and about and running around. That's been a pretty power-packed. Can we change the music? Someone asked. Interestingly enough, all you can do is press it on mute and play any music you like in the background. I always have Spotify open, the app, on my computer, and I play any music from any playlist, like millions of different options. Sometimes I even go and open up another tab, and I'll actually go to YouTube and I'll look for specific healing music, or, you know, that which puts us into different alpha waves or gamma waves and so forth. So you can choose any music you like, just mute it inside our player and go and select another piece. You might actually have your stereo on behind you at home. Play whatever music you like. Okay, so it looks like there are no real questions. I hope this has been really helpful. And if you become one of our really, really precious VIP members and or a signature member, the difference is either yearly or monthly. I am going to very much look forward to getting to know you. It will be wonderful, really, really wonderful. Excellent, fantastic. Oh, someone has suggested, you know what, if you've got crystal bowls or you've got gongs or you've got any other kind of incredible music therapy, if any of those opportunities are available, then absolutely go for it. So that's it, isn't it? Yes, not just any images. Oh, goodness, not just any words. Oh, shall I explain that? All right. The words that you will see are all self-fulfilling prophecies and mantras, and every single session has words that have been created by the people that we're working with, these world-class experts, these authorities, people who are really credible, people who know what they're talking about and walk their talk, people we can admire and respect. You can imagine that it's like you having them as your coach sitting on your shoulder, and they're actually saying to you, deep in your other than consciousness, what they think is actually going to help you, what they think is going to be of benefit to you. So the words that you will see are really, really, really precisely written. You don't need to be able to read all of them, by the way. The more that you get to watch a session, the more that you need to trust that out of those 11 million bits of information we're taking in, we're actually literally able to comprehend. We've done some initial research. Should I go and show you that? Some initial research. Where we know that actually it looks like we can develop this as an accelerated learning platform. People actually are comprehending more, they're retaining more, they're recalling more, and they're able to apply more, and we're doing some preliminary testing now. I think we're a long way from being able to publish anything, but it's certainly looking promising, and maybe you could try it yourself. You know, like there might be a subject that you don't really know very much about, right? You may not know very much about. In fact, let me just go back and show you the range while we're here of all of the different sessions that we have. So we'll go to the shop. Oh, wow, you can see there's Resilient Radiant Resonance by Rhonda Rule available today. What else is there? One about social connections. If you are involved in any kind of leadership position, management position, selling position, or you have social anxiety, this particular session is really, really important to you, social connection. I would imagine that you need to watch it at least once a day for 7 days slowly so that you can absorb the messages, and then maybe you could watch it relatively quickly at least once a month and add it to your repertoire. Infinite Potential, I think, is an amazing one. Okay, so let's just go down here and let's search for Dana Wild. She's a friend of mine, and see that hers actually comes up. Whoops. Where are all of the thousands of sessions in the shop? That's very interesting. I dare say something is being done right now to upload a brand new piece of Positive Prime, and they've all disappeared. Well, let's go back to my dashboard and I'll at least be able to show you some of the ones that I've got. There's an incredible session by Michael C. Pate on sleeping. He's actually an amazing sleep scientist. There's I Am Enough by Marissa Peer. I love it. Reverend Karen Russo is an incredible lady, a graduate in her Masters of Finance from Columbia University. She's an incredible money management coach, really amazing. Let me see what else I've got here. Excellent Decisions by Robert McPhee. Whenever I am faced with should I do this or not, I'll watch Excellent Decisions and allow my intuition to actually guide me, and allow my own real vision and me understanding what my values are to actually guide me. There's a great one here, Kickstart with Heart by Pam Burton. She's one of our professionals. I actually have a couple of sessions that are in my account that aren't available to the world. For example, we created this incredible session for a leader in the doTERRA company, and thousands of actual team members get to watch this one about building their business. This Be Your Best Self we actually created for an executive recruitment company on behalf of one of our professionals who actually is selling in Positive Prime to other corporate relationships. So there's a network. Anyway, I could go on and on and on and on and on. Let me go back to shop sessions and see if any, oh, look at this. So here it is. I searched for Dana and now I can see that she has 2 sessions, Train Your Brain for Abundance and Stepping into Your Celebrity. Let me see. I know that lots of people really need to focus on manifesting in terms of abundance, right? So let me just go and see what we have for abundance. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sessions, by the way, and we're adding more and more and more all the time. It's what we do. Here is a great session by a great woman, Rena Romano. You can actually watch her TED Talk. This is really about thriving, and I love her story. She's really powerful. She walks her talk. She goes the extra mile. Her message is important, particularly in this Me Too world. So I own this, so I can just go and watch it. Let's go back and I will see one that actually I don't own. Let's, oh, here's the shop. Look at that, see? Oh, do you know this lovely lady, Kim Jackson, is a coach in Hollywood. She's a really successful actor, and she helps other actors to prepare for performances and auditions, and she's an amazing coach, actually. So if I'm going to go and do a speech, as I'm actually doing tonight, I'm traveling this afternoon, I might go here and actually watch Kim Jackson's Improving Performance. Now, here is what happens. If I press Get It Now, it's actually going to ask, do I want to buy it for 120 credits? Well, I look at my credits up here and absolutely I can buy it. So it's now adding it to my library and it will appear in my dashboard and I'll be able to actually select it and watch it. So Kim is incredible. You know what? 99.9% of the people that I know, that I associate with, that are colleagues, that inspire me, that I get to work with, that I get to coach with, they're all incredible. I mean, seriously, I have this mantra. I mean, incredible people, incredible people are a part of my life. You know, in our community, what's really interesting is that I shared what was going on in my personal life with these health crises. And the number of people who prayed for us and the number of people who sent us healing energy and best wishes, I tell you, I think it made all the difference. I really and truly do. I think it made the difference between life and death. It certainly has accelerated the healing and the recovery. And I cannot tell you how profoundly grateful, deeply appreciative I am. I for years and years and years have been doing energy work, healing others, but it is just so nice to be amongst a community of people who are also sharing that healing energy with us. It's a real reciprocal, beautiful, circular economy of love and compassion and empathy that we've created here. And as a VIP member, a signature member, you'll be in a very special, exclusive VIP, a Facebook group where we really do support each other. Did I actually press buy? I wonder if I actually pressed buy. So, because I would really like to play this now. Now, I imagine, let's watch it. Because, of course, Zoom is so intense and the broadband, it actually requires, it's so hard to do screen sharing. Particularly, of course, as you may or may not know, Australia has the slowest freaking internet on the planet. I go to America and I cannot believe how fast your internet is. But here in Australia, sometimes our internet is so slow. And, you know, it shouldn't be. We should be really, quite frankly, leading internationally. We're so close to Asia, but it's just not reality for us. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Shall we watch a little bit of this? Anybody got any questions? Because I'm about to say goodbye. Goodbye. Anybody need to unmute themselves? Anybody need to share anything? Okay, wonderful. I can hear somebody unmuting themselves.
Sam, this is Lisa.
Hello, Lisa. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're so welcome. And thank you so much for this. Will this be something we can send out to people that are interested and have questions, or do you want us to send something else out?
Within a couple of hours, Mayumi will have organized to have this on YouTube, and it can be a link, a video you can share easily, globally, publicly. Absolutely.
So I can have it a link and send out to people, go, okay.
Hang on one second. I literally just started that improving performance and the music is going. Let me mute it. There we go. Sorry. Carry on.
People are curious. It's like, if I join, do I get a couple sessions, or do I buy? They kind of want to know how it all works so that they see what they're getting. Like some said $9.99, some said $159 is fine. They wanted to know, will they get any extra sessions a month, or how does it work for them?
Beautiful. How does it work? Very easily. The reason why we have the free opportunity is because everybody can try before they buy, right? They can actually start to feel very comfortable with what happens, how it happens. They can ease themselves into it. And as soon as you have your account created, within 2 or 3 days, you receive an email from us with a lot more information and guidance and education. And there are resources there to support everybody who joins for free. So in the very first instance, somebody can join for free. They will see a session in their drop-down menu, so they can just watch Being Happier. Immediately, they can get a sense of what this is and why and how. Obviously, if they want an additional session, they will see in their top right-hand corner 120 credits. With 120 credits, they can actually go to the shop and they can choose another session that they could watch. So everybody has this incredible flexibility. It's such a versatile system, and it's so richly rewarding that you actually get to choose as a brand new member what is the one piece of content that you would actually like to be watching. Now, if you want to be able to personalize your sessions, edit them by uploading your own photographs, it is absolutely crucial, really and truly, it's vital that you upgrade. You can either upgrade to be a monthly member at $9.99 as the standard or basic level. And that will allow you to personalize your sessions. Once you actually buy a session, so once you actually acquire it and add it to your library, you will have it always and forever. When you personalize your sessions and you edit them so that you see your own family and friends in there, pictures of your own pets, when you see your own goals, when you actually use it as your gratitude journal and also your vision board, you have that functionality so long as you stay a subscribed premium member. You may choose to actually go the next level up to become a signature member at $19.99 a month if you would like the added benefits of being in part of our VIP community and you would like to actually have a consultation with me. So it's included one per year. It's really a gift, essentially. And you'll be involved in that beautiful VIP group. So if you then use Positive Prime for professional purposes, you must be a signature or VIP member. And quite frankly, everybody on the planet gets to choose what is right for them as they feel into, do I want to be paying monthly or would I just like to pay one amount annually up front for the year and know that it'll actually be a recurring subscription and I'll be charged again at the same date next year. Or if you choose to pay and it's the 29th of August, quite frankly, you'll be charged your $9.99 again on the 29th of September. So it's really the editing function, the ability for you to supercharge these and make them so much more powerful by having your own personal photographs in there. But not everybody on the planet can necessarily afford $9.99 a month. And I know that, I respect that, I understand that, and that's why this tool is available free for everybody on the planet.
What a gift.
You know, seriously, sometimes people actually joke with me about the fact that Positive Prime is my philanthropy. It's my charitable contribution to the planet. And yes, in part, that's absolutely true. But quite frankly, I'm also incredibly motivated and I'm also very dedicated to making sure that we provide a really amazing piece of software that's so simple to use so that people can actually have these incredible vision boards and gratitude journals built into this particular neuroscience positive psychology tool. Because, you know, quite frankly, the more, but the better the research is that we're going to be able to do, and we'll get to know how does this actually work for people in various different states, you know, whether that's depression or anxiety or whether it actually does over the long term. Scientifically, can we provide the evidence that proves, yes, you know what, it does improve sales in a group of people by at least 30 or 50%. So the more that we make, the more we can do on the planet. And so absolutely, it's a commercial enterprise. And I'm really, really proud of it. And I'm very, 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 very grateful that I get to do this because this is undoubtedly what I was born to do. This is like my life's purpose at play.
Well, thank you for answering this because when we send this out, there will be a lot of questions answered now, and I really appreciate this, Kim.
That's my pleasure.
You're also helping our future generations because there's so many young people that are dealing with anxiety and feelings of unworthiness, and some are considering actions that we would never want for anybody. So I feel that this is something that can help so many.
Thank you, Lisa. And you know what? Given you're such an amazing therapist, I just, that means so much for me to hear that from you. And you know, the truth is that we actually do have schools that have children who are watching Positive Prime every single day. It is helping with bullying issues. It is helping with anxiety issues. We've got lots of anecdotal evidence. We've got lots of people who are just testing and trialing. We do have stories certainly where children who've been struggling intellectually, struggling with their development, they're actually able to progress further, faster. Their parents are actually telling us these stories. It's really, really incredible. It is actually really incredible. I have actually offered this once before, so I think I might offer it again. any VIP member who is currently a VIP member or who becomes a VIP member before September, guess what I'll do? I will allow you to have your children under the age of 16 to have an account where they can edit their sessions and upload photographs of themselves and what's important to them, and you can actually do it as a project with your child. So if you are a VIP member or a signature member, you can actually have 2 free accounts absolutely as a gift for any child who's a direct dependent of yours who's under the age of 16, and we will upgrade them on your behalf so that you're not paying for their account, but they actually have the ability to edit their sessions. That's how committed I am to having really happy, healthy children on the planet who, quite frankly, are going to grow up to seriously make the most magnificent contributions with their lives. Why wouldn't we do this? Yeah. Okay, so thank you, everybody. And I'll see you very soon. Love you all. Ciao.
Ciao.